Well, he attack me. But Jaden Chase, they have to make the fans them know what really are going on.
Yeah, man, now move settings nation. And we no need no ladder. Yeah, man, Jaden Chase and I want to bring on another reason for the topic of current affairs. So if you're new to the channel, just a pass through. But you like the reason and of course you like the point of view, well, I'm suggesting to you that you click the subscribe icon and then kick in the like button. Now let's get right into the reasoning. Nation and the government did feel like so this is one of them cases that them got tie up in a court. Well, them plan fail as Patricia Duncan Sutherland, president of the PNP's Women's Movement, has confirmed that the organization will be paying the bill for legal representation for Nzinga King and her case against the state. Buchanan is of course a lawyer with a history of human rights activism. Definitely the man for the case. Let me come here from Mr. Sutherland and then continue the reason. Look and listen.
Helping them in securing a lawyer to represent Nzinga, because this kind of abuse cannot continue in our country by anybody. I don't care what you do. And just for the record, Nzinga's transgression was that she got angry with the police because she was pepper sprayed in a car when the police was intending to pepper spray the driver of the car. To be poor is a crime in Jamaica.
You know, when Nzinga and Shirley came to me to say this is what had occurred and this is what was happening for them, and they said they wanted to go ahead and make their report and press charges, I told them, remember, as you step out in the public in a brave way as you did, skeptics will come out of the woodwork. People would question your story. Well, you know, it's always difficult, but they are a strong family. As Shirley said to me this morning, you know, Trish, when these things happen, we just get closer and tighter. We get stronger together. So they are a strong family, and they are dealing with each other this weekend. It's a holiday weekend. It's Independence weekend. They are supporting each other. And they said they were clear. They are telling the truth. They want to tell their story, and they want to pursue their case. And so I stand in support of them, and I help them to get their lawyer, and I have no reason to disbelieve them to this point.
Yes, nation. Now let's continue the reasoning. Now Buchanan said he has been retained to seek redress from the state for the human rights violation against Miss King, as well as for being dehumanized by the state for the not alleged but clearly confirmed cutting of her hair that she has had for the 19 years of her life on this earth. Hair which is not a fashion statement but rather a symbol of her devotion to her religious faith. Now Buchanan also confirmed that even before filing these submissions, he said he will be writing to the Attorney General and the Director of State Proceedings and invite them to compensate Princess Nzinga and her family, as she was referred to by Mr. Buchanan. Now, as it speaks to a figure, Buchanan said, I wish I could put a figure to it, but if I were to start to count the length of each strand of the hair on the young lady's head and calculate it, that would be a jumping point. He said, first and foremost, let me state this. What we are seeking compensation for is the equivalent of walking into Buckingham Palace and dragging the princess from Buckingham Palace and scalping her. We want everything, including social change. And speaking of social change, some have said that the president of the PNP's woman movement is making this into a political battle. But think about this. She's also the caretaker for the area. Isn't this not one of the reasons why we have elected officials, members of parliament, councillors, caretakers, you name them? is it not to voice the opinion of its or of their constituents? Sutherland is simply doing her job, in my point of view. Of course, she pointed out the fact that human rights are still being violated. She also pointed to the fact that some people have made this out to seem like it's a Rasta versus the system thing. And if you are not a Rastafarian, this does not concern you. You are wrong. She said the violation of these rights are being done on a systematic level, meaning the system itself and the way protocols are put in place. These situations are happening right across the board, regardless of religion, regardless of the type of hair, or hairstyle rather. Because of course, we have to look on the political aspect. First and foremost, pepper spray was used in a vehicle with other citizens, which shows a disregard for civilian life. But it not stop this up. After removing the mask to of course catch air, it is apparent that the instruction given by officers at the scene was to keep on the mask. And as you're talking for your rights, yes, speaking for your given right, so it can quickly turn into disorderly conduct. This have to be the case to set the standard. The standard have to set right as so. I better when the government pocket feel it. I better them pass legislation and put protocols in place where anytime officers violate citizens' rights, them face the full weight of the law. If officers are allowed to operate with the mindset so them can do anything them want to citizens as long as them can conveniently find a charge to place on them, they see why the country's issues, while seeming so simple, are so very hard to fix. A corruption from all angles, everywhere you step Makajuke. This case and the recent turn of events also showcase the system want the people divided. After Nzinga King found out in the media and share our story with the world, the story of the atrocities that she faced at the hands of the constabulary force. Recently we see them put out story I try to say she say to people, and the person who has said that Nzinga said this was not a part of the group she was speaking to. She claims she overhear a conversation. But the mainstream media was given this story and told to run the story in a particular way to discredit Nzinga. So Buchanan say me about it. Him know what going, him aware. But he's also aware of the tactics that the state will use. Yes, him have a whole heap of experience. Remember him the teacher, lawyer. He knows full well how far the state will go to cover up their actions. This case, however, is unique because there's mixed reviews from even the constabulary force itself. Other officers have pointed out that this has nothing to do with policing. And the conduct of this officer reflects poorly on the entire constabulary force. And there's a wealth of evidence to prove her story. Her mother said then she got a fear. They don't want her to see her. She was put into lockup, or she was brought to the station with locks. And she left without. Her mother said when she see her, she said, yo, when my daughter there, and my daughter that. So the cutting of the hair did not take place after she left the station. She left the station without locks after entering with. So officers already have all they need to move forward with the case. But them realize that this case is a case actions that citizens across the entire island, the whole 14 parish, have been complaining about. Even though for the majority, these complaints have fallen on deaf ears. Compensation has to be given. The Queen left around the repatriation money. Them have to compensate the girl for what she got through. And as I'm saying, I want protocols put in place, legislation passed to prevent these type of things from happening. These type, not just stop a cutting of here, whole heap of other things go on. Them do whole heap of other things, them deny certain rights, certain basic human rights, certain things you have to see with as a human being. It has nothing to do with laws and legislation. A female in lockup, other females did it. She experienced a situation and not even a part them won't provide. A joke in that. Them not see citizens as human beings. And clearly that them are show the people. Citizens are not human beings. Are not human beings rather. Because if woman to woman, an officer cannot understand the situation of another woman, then clearly she does not see the inmate as another woman. Vice the one called Jaden Chase, the dancehall correspondent, the Gaza representative. I am reminded to know if you're new to the channel, new to the movement, just a pass through, but you like the reason and of course like the point of view. Well, I'm suggesting to you that you click the subscribe icon and then the bell icon and put it on all. And this is how you know will be notified of all fresh content as soon as fresh content is uploaded and made available for you right here on the platform. You know there's something going for those who don't. My sentiments for you and yours are to live, love and prosper until we reason again.